I've never tried Rust. I really kind of want to know about it. The syntax is just awful, but it has a lot of it. Why is there an exclamation? Yeah, this really seems like functional programming languages syntax. That's the first things that come to my mind. There is probably a good reason. The creator's background, I guess. Yeah, that's type inference. That's great. That's a lot of no default constructors. There aren't. They have the mutable keyword, so I guess everything is constant by default. That might be a good thing. Very functional-like, I guess. Formatting is expected. Built-in support for tuples. Yeah, that's the problem with, I guess, C++. It's that, well, retrocompatibility. In C, everything is mutable by default, so you have to specify const. Everything is implicit by default, so you have to specify explicit. You probably pretty much want the opposite of that. I read that article earlier, and they say that's actually what Rust is doing. Probably something about crates. But in a way, I'm still kind of happy that C++ is as it is, because if you get epochs, well, you probably solve the problem of retrocompatibility with the possibilities to deprecate and remove features. But nowadays, when you see a C++ program, even if it has been written 30 years ago, you're still able to understand it mostly. With the exception perhaps of deny, something like that. Which is very horrible in old code. Where are structs? Using yeah, that might really hinder the language on the long term. I don't have a problem if you do something like that, but it has to be on long periods of time, like something every 10 years. Because if it's every 2 to 3 years, that might be really too short. That's not even enough time for the functionality to be documented properly. But I trust, I guess, they will figure that out. And that might be a problem on the philosophical aspect too, because in the C++ standard, they know that if they introduce a bad feature, they will have to stuck with it for a very long time. So they think very hard about what they get into the standard. However, on the other hand, with Rust, it's like, yeah, if we get a bad feature in, we can just remove it anyway. But I guess that's just partial considerations. Struct threads implementation things they do in Rust in that. Where is it? Threads. A thread is a collection of methods defined for an unknown type self. Can access other methods declared in the same thread. Threads can be implemented for any data type. Example below, we define animal, a group of methods. The animal thread is then implemented for the sheep data type, following the use of methods from animal with a sheep. Self refers to the implementer type. Implementation of animal for and extend the struct with methods. Yeah, that's what I understand, I guess. It kind of smell to me in a way because it seems very C++-like, and when I'm watching that, is that what does that feature enables me to do that I couldn't do before in a simple way? Because there you have a ship interface. Oh, that's just a... Why is there an implementation of ship directly? Is the struct separated from the interface? Yeah, I see. Scoping rules. Do they have private and public scopes? Private by default? Oh yeah, so I was kind of worried that they did not. This stationary function concrete type A, concrete type S. Implementation, similar to function, implementation require care to remain generic. Implementation of val, implementation gen val for generic type T. I would like to see just details, conversion, expression. Oh, custom types, I did miss it. Struct with two fields. Struct person. If I'm right, Rust is use garbage collection, so no memory allocation. That's out of the initialization. Still, there's no semicolon in the last line of method, that value will be returned. That took me a while to notice. Is that the rule? Is an expression, the return keyword is not necessary here. Oh, that's kind of... I don't really like that. Yeah, here. I guess you get used to it. I will be kind of worried when you have multiple returns in a single functions, and you might not understand the control flow of the function if you do not pay attention. Oh yeah, you can still use return. Yeah, I will be really worried about that. That someone just write false, and when you read the function, you totally miss one of the two returns. The final expression in the function will be used as return value. So probably not. Alternatively, the return statement can be used to return a value earlier from within the function, even from inside loops or if statements. Yeah, so at least that's great that they did that. Still don't really like it. Like, can write return for all I know, it won't kill you. That kind of feel like unnecessary syntax. That seems kind of arbitrary, but I think that JavaScript works the same way. If I'm not wrong. That the return value of the function is the last expression. Let's see. if I do something like that and I call it. No, it doesn't. Kind of. The structs look so JSON-like. They do, I guess. Don't really have a problem with that. Don't know if it's mandatory, but having to write self everywhere, I kind of don't like that. Some people do that in C++ and just write this arrow absolutely everywhere. That's verbose for no reason.